Have you ever experienced a morning that begins not with the gentle promise of a new day, but with the profound, leaden weight of a race already lost? You pry your eyes open, and they feel as if they are lined with sand. Your body, a traitorous vessel, hums with a dull, pervasive ache that has no discernible origin in injury or illness. A thick, cognitive fog clings to you, a shroud of exhaustion you wear from the very instant your feet touch the floor. You run through the mental checklist of modern wellness dogma: a balanced diet, a strict 8-hour sleep window, hydration, perhaps even morning meditation. You have ticked every box prescribed by the experts, and yet you feel fundamentally, utterly depleted. It is a sensation of being siphoned, as if an invisible weight has settled upon your shoulders during the night, a heavy metaphysical blanket you simply cannot shrug off. If this resonates with you, please know that you are navigating this murky terrain in the company of millions. Countless individuals move through their lives carrying a burden they cannot see and struggle to name, a deep-seated, soul-level tiredness that a cup of coffee, no matter how strong, is powerless to touch. This pervasive fatigue prompts a radical yet ancient question. What if this exhaustion is not always a problem rooted in the purely physical realm? What if its origins are far more subtle, operating on a level that our standard medical tests, for all their precision, cannot yet quantify? We in the modern West have been largely conditioned to view our health through a strictly biological lens, a complex interplay of biochemistry, neurology, and physiology. Yet, across countless ancient wisdom traditions and increasingly in modern metaphysical thought, there exists a persistent concept of a human energy field, a vibrant and intelligent layer of our being that both permeates our physical form and extends beyond it, constantly interacting with the world around us. Consider the palpable, draining effect of a conversation that is superficially polite, but riddled with unspoken tensions and undercurrents of judgment. You can walk away from such an exchange feeling completely spent, your social battery not merely low, but seemingly shattered, as if the very act of maintaining a pleasant facade has cost you a quart of vital life force. Or reflect on the experience of being in a crowded, noisy room, a party, a bustling train station, a busy office, and suddenly feeling a pressing, almost claustrophobic need to be alone. It is not merely the volume that overwhelms, but a sensation that the collective mood, the amalgamated anxiety, excitement, and stress of every person present is literally pressing down upon you, demanding your energy. These experiences, often dismissed as mere metaphor or introversion, can be understood as direct, tangible experiences of your personal energy field being influenced, manipulated, and even drained by external forces and the emotional states of others. This brings us to the core of a fascinating and transformative concept: that a significant portion of our unexplained fatigue, our random migratory aches and pains, and even that free-floating background anxiety that seems to have no specific trigger, might not be ours to carry. They may, in fact, be the symptoms of your personal energy field being compromised, clouded by invisible residues left behind by the people and environments you encounter. Every day, we engage in a constant, silent exchange of energy. We interact with colleagues, family members, and strangers, many of whom are carrying unspoken resentments, hidden envy, profound grief, or heavy personal burdens they cannot voice. We walk through homes, offices, and public spaces that hold the emotional echoes of past arguments, joys, and sorrows, a kind of psychic patina on every surface. Without conscious awareness or protection, we can function like psychic sponges, absorbing this heavy, stagnant energy until it begins to feel indistinguishable from our own. It adheres to our field, creating a kind of static interference. This accumulated residue becomes a background noise of weariness and unease, that we mistakenly accept as our normal, baseline state of being. We grow so accustomed to carrying the weight that we forget what it feels like to be truly light, clear, and unencumbered. The mechanics of this exchange are particularly intriguing, especially the proposed primary entry point for this foreign energy. It is often suggested that the back of the neck, the vulnerable nape, acts as a highly sensitive energetic gateway. This is the very place where you might instinctively feel a sudden, inexplicable chill, or where stress and tension seem to gather and crystallize into a tight, painful knot. It is the corridor through which intrusive, looping thoughts and foreign, irrational fears often seem to slip into the theater of our awareness. Furthermore, it is often the precise location from which that deep, bone-level exhaustion seems to emanate, as if the fatigue is being injected directly into our core. This gateway, when left unguarded and unacknowledged, can leave us profoundly vulnerable to accumulating energies, thought forms, and emotional charges that were never ours to bear in the first place. We carry them home from a draining day at work. We bring them back from tense family gatherings or even enjoyable but overly stimulating social events, and we even pick them up from digital interactions. The angry torrent of a comment section, the anxious news cycle, the curated perfection of social media. We accumulate this detritus until we are so full of what is not us that we lose touch with our own vibrant, authentic core. We mistake the static for the signal. The consequence of this constant, low-grade energetic drainage is a life lived at a fraction of its intended capacity. You begin your mornings already feeling behind, already tired. The passions that once set your soul alight now feel dimmed, their colors muted. Your motivation, once a powerful engine, is now a sputtering motor, and your joy feels perpetually just out of reach, visible through a pane of frosted glass. The entire experience is analogous to trying to watch a television with a bad signal. The picture of your life is technically there, but it is fuzzy, distorted, filled with visual and auditory static, and you must constantly strain to make out the details and the narrative. This state of persistent interference and low vitality is not how life is meant to be lived. You were designed for clarity, for vitality, for a sense of inner peace and robust engagement with the world. The static, the heaviness, the mental fog, these are not your default settings. They are not intrinsic flaws or a sign of personal failure. They are layers of energetic residue that have accumulated over days, months, and years, like dust on a lens, obscuring the bright, powerful, and radiant person you truly are beneath it all. So, if we entertain the possibility that this subtle energetic exchange is a genuine and impactful phenomenon, the natural and most pressing next question is, how do we clean it up? How do we systematically release what we were never meant to carry and reclaim our own natural birthright of power, clarity, and vitality? The solution proposed here is not predicated on the notion of fixing something that is broken inside of you, for at your core, you are whole, complete, and not broken. This is a crucial distinction. The journey is not about repair, but about a gentle, yet profoundly powerful process of reclamation. It is about becoming the conscious custodian of your own inner space, sweeping your own psychic house, clearing out the guests, the worries, anxieties, and energies of others that have long overstayed their welcome, and taking back the space that is rightfully and inherently yours. This is a journey of returning to yourself, of patiently and compassionately peeling away the layers of foreign energy to rediscover the calm, strong, resilient, and vibrantly alive being at the center of it all. This process of energetic reclamation, while profound in its effects, can be beautifully simple in its execution. It involves the establishment of a conscious, intentional ritual, a dedicated practice designed to sever these draining energetic cords and wash away the accumulated residue of the day or of a lifetime. The absolute core of this practice is a powerful, declarative statement made not just with your voice or your mind, but with your entire being, with your heart, your soul, and your focused will. This declaration is, I release what is not mine. This simple phrase is far more than a collection of words. It is the master key that unlocks the door to your own energetic freedom. It is a statement of unassailable boundaries, a proclamation of self-sovereignty, and an active command issued directly to your energy field to let go of everything that does not serve you, that does not belong to you, and that weighs you down. It is an act of taking out the psychic trash. Importantly, this is not an exercise in blaming others or cursing the world for its chaotic energy. It is, instead, the ultimate expression of radical responsibility for your own inner environment. You are not responsible for the energy others project, but you become wholly responsible for what you allow to stick, what you choose to hold on to, and what you consciously decide to release. The entire cleansing practice is built upon this foundational, non-negotiable principle of release. It masterfully combines tangible physical elements with the profound, focused power of your conscious intention. By incorporating simple, earthy ingredients like coarse salt, a substance that represents the enduring memory, stability, and cleansing power of the earth itself, and pure water, the universal solvent and symbol of emotional and spiritual purification, we create a powerful physical anchor for what is, at its heart, a deeply spiritual and energetic cleanse. The ritual is best performed in a state of mindful, deliberate silence, because silence itself acts as a sacred seal, preventing new chaotic energies from entering the system while the delicate work of cleansing is taking place. It is within this hallowed, quiet space that your intention can ring out most clearly and potently, uninterrupted by the incessant noise and demands of the external world. This dedicated time becomes a sacred pause in the relentless whirlwind of life, a scheduled appointment with your own soul to consciously and deliberately return to your center, to your truth, and to your inherent power. The ritual itself is a physical poetry of release. Imagine standing in the sanctuary of your shower, the water not yet flowing. You take a handful of coarse salt, feeling its gritty, crystalline texture against your skin, a direct connection to the grounding, absorbing earth. You begin at that vulnerable gateway at the nape of your neck, and with firm, circular motions, you scrub the salt over your skin, not as an act of abrasion, but as a powerful symbolic and energetic gesture. You are scrubbing away the residues, the attachments, the invisible grime of the day. As you do this, you repeat your mantra, either aloud or in the silent theater of your mind. I release what is not mine. I release your stress. I release your anger. I release your anxiety. I release the energy of that crowded room. I release the fear from that conversation. You name it. You claim your power over it, and you command it to go. Then, you turn on the water. But you do not simply step under the stream. You allow the water to hit that same spot on the back of your neck first. You visualize the pure, cleansing water flowing not just over your skin, but through your energy field, washing all the dislodged residue down your body, off your feet, and down the drain. You see it, the gray, sticky energy, the dark tendrils of worry, the glittering shards of envy, all being carried away by the relentless, purifying flow. You feel it leaving you. The physical sensation of the water becomes inextricably linked with the energetic sensation of release. You stand there, perhaps for several minutes, just allowing this waterfall of cleansing to occur, feeling the weight lift, the static clear, and the fog dissolve. You emerge not just clean in a hygienic sense, but purified, lighter, and restored to a state of clarity you may have forgotten was possible. This practice, when performed consistently, becomes more than a mere reaction to feeling drained. It evolves into a proactive discipline of self-care and energetic hygiene, as fundamental as brushing your teeth or nourishing your body with good food. It is a daily reset, a way to close the energetic door at the end of the day and ensure you are not carrying the burdens of the world into your precious rest and into your new tomorrow. The effects are cumulative. Over time, you will notice that the background anxiety begins to quiet. The morning fatigue becomes less paralyzing. Your passions begin to flicker back to life, their colors returning to their original vibrancy. Your mental clarity sharpens, and your emotional resilience strengthens. You find yourself reacting less to the emotional turbulence of others because you are no longer unconsciously absorbing it. You have established a filter, a boundary of light and intention that allows you to engage with the world from a place of centeredness, rather than being tossed about by its every wave. Ultimately, this journey of energetic reclamation is the most important journey you will ever undertake. The journey back to the authentic, unburdened self. It is a declaration that your energy, your vitality, and your inner peace are sacred and non-negotiable. By consciously releasing what is not yours, you make space for what truly is. Your creativity, your joy, your unique purpose, and your boundless capacity for love and connection. You begin to live not at half capacity, but fully, vibrantly, and clearly, the signal finely strong and the picture of your life brilliantly, beautifully sharp. The foundation. Your first step to energetic freedom. You've decided to take a step, a powerful one. You've recognized that the weight you've been carrying might not be yours, and now you are ready to gently but firmly put it down. This first level is not just a simple action. It is the foundation upon which you will rebuild your connection to your own vibrant energy. It is a profound declaration of intent, made real through a beautifully simple ritual. We are beginning with the core, the essential key that unlocks the door to a lighter existence. This practice is called the salt water cleansing, and it is your personal tool for release and reclamation. Think of your energy field not as an abstract idea, but as the very atmosphere of your being. It is the invisible space around you that people can feel when you walk into a room. It is the source of your mood, your spark, your vitality. Just like the air in a room, this personal atmosphere can become stale. It can accumulate dust, particles from other people's emotional states, and the heavy residue of difficult environments. We breathe this in energetically every single day, and over time, it settles within us, dimming our natural light. This ritual is the equivalent of throwing open the windows on a fresh spring morning, allowing a new, clean breeze to sweep through every corner of your being, carrying the stagnation away. The beauty of this process lies in its elegant simplicity. You do not need complex tools or esoteric knowledge. You only need a few intentional ingredients and the powerful force of your own focused will. The first of these ingredients is coarse salt. This is not the refined white table salt you use for cooking. We are using coarse salt, sea salt, or Himalayan salt, crystals that are visibly raw and unprocessed. This type of salt is more than a mineral. It is a physical piece of the ancient earth. It carries within its crystalline structure the memory of the ocean, the stability of the land, and a powerful purifying intelligence. For centuries, across countless cultures, salt has been used to cleanse, to preserve, and to protect. It is a natural disinfectant in the physical world, and in the energetic realm, it acts in a similar way, breaking down and dissolving foreign energies that have attached themselves to you. When you use this living salt, you are not just applying a substance, you are allying yourself with the grounding, cleansing power of the planet itself. The second component is warm water. Water is the ultimate conductor and the great solvent. It is the element of flow, of emotion, and of life itself. It adapts to any container. It carves through stone with persistence, and it has the ability to carry information, to hold memory. By mixing the coarse salt into warm water, you are creating a potent, activated solution. The warmth helps to open up the energetic gateway we are focusing on, much like warmth soothes tense muscles, allowing for a deeper release. The water becomes the vehicle, the flowing river that will carry the dissolved heavy energies away from you, while the salt provides the purifying current within that river. Together, they form a sacred partnership for this cleansing work. The third, and perhaps most crucial ingredient, is your silence. In our modern world, silence is a rare and precious commodity. We are constantly surrounded by noise, traffic, notifications, conversations, and the endless chatter of our own minds. This constant auditory stimulation keeps our energy field open and vulnerable, like a door that is constantly swinging back and forth. Choosing to enter a state of deliberate silence during this ritual is how you close that door. It is how you create a contained, sacred space where your intention can become the only sound that matters. Silence is not merely the absence of noise, it is an active presence. It is the container that holds your power, preventing it from leaking out and preventing new disturbances from leaking in. From the moment you begin to prepare the salt water until the final moment of the ritual, your maintained silence acts as a protective shield, ensuring that the cleansing process is deep, uninterrupted, and entirely for you. The final piece is your phrase of power: I release what's not mine. This sentence is far more than a collection of words. It is a clear, concise, and sovereign command issued from the very core of your being. Many of us are conditioned to carry burdens that do not belong to us. The unresolved anger of a partner, the hidden jealousy of a colleague, the general anxiety of the collective. We take it on out of a misplaced sense of duty, empathy, or simply because we do not know how to set an energetic boundary. This phrase is the embodiment of that boundary. When you speak it with intention, you are drawing a line in the sand of your soul. You are conducting an audit of your inner world and consciously choosing to let go of every emotional artifact, every lingering fear, and every ounce of fatigue that you did not create. It is the verbal key that unlocks the chains of borrowed heaviness. Now let us move into the precise, mindful steps of the ritual. The timing is specific for a profound reason. The text suggests performing this between 4 and 5 in the morning. This is not an arbitrary rule designed to make life difficult. This time, often called the ambrosial hours or the time portal, is considered by many traditions to be the quietest point of the day, both externally and internally. The world is still asleep. The frantic energy of human activity is at its lowest ebb. The veil between the physical and the subtle is at its thinnest. Your mind, free from the distractions of the day, is at its most receptive and impressionable state. Waking at this hour is an act of supreme dedication to yourself. It signals to your subconscious that this work is a priority. If this time feels completely impossible, the absolute quiet just before you go to sleep can also be a powerful alternative, as it cleanses the day's accumulations before you enter the restorative state of sleep. Begin your preparation the night before. Place your bowl of coarse salt and a clean vessel for mixing near your sink. This simple act of preparation is itself a form of intention setting. When you wake, move to your kitchen or bathroom in silence. Do not check your phone. Do not turn on the television. Do not speak. Let the world remain asleep while you are awake for this sacred purpose. Fill your bowl with warm water, not hot enough to scald, but warm enough to be comforting, like a gentle embrace. Then, take a generous handful of the coarse salt and pour it into the water. Now, here is a vital step. Use your own hands to stir the mixture. Do not use a spoon. Your hands are your primary instruments of energy. As you swirl your fingers through the warm, salty water, feel the granules of salt against your skin. Visualize your intention flowing from your heart, down your arm, and out through your fingertips, charging the water with your specific purpose: to cleanse, to release, to make clean. Feel the water becoming alive with your desire for freedom. This takes only a minute or two, but it is a critical minute of active creation. Now, carrying your charged bowl, find a comfortable and quiet place to sit. Take 3 deep, calming breaths, feeling your body settle into the stillness. Dip the fingers of your dominant hand, the hand you write with, often seen as your active, giving hand, into the salt water. Bring your wet fingers to the back of your neck, to that sensitive area where your skull meets the top of your spine. This is the gateway we spoke of. Begin to make slow, deliberate, clockwise circles on your skin. Feel the sensation of the warm, salty water on your neck. As you make the first circle, bring your awareness to the physical sensations. Imagine the salt beginning its work, like a gentle scrubbing bubble, loosening the energetic grime that has accumulated there. As you make the second circle, deepen your focus. Visualize the heavy energy, the fatigue, the anxiety, the borrowed burdens, detaching from your field. See it as a dark, sticky substance being dissolved by the purifying salt and washed away by the flowing water. There is no force required, only a gentle and firm intention. You are not fighting a battle, you are simply cleaning your house. On the third and final circle, you will speak your command aloud. Let your voice be calm but firm, a clear statement of fact. Say, "I release what's not mine." As you speak these words, feel a tangible shift. Imagine a final cord being cut, a heavy cloak falling from your shoulders, a window being flung open. This is the moment of release. The ritual action has given form to your intention, and your spoken word has given it life and direction. The ritual, however, does not end with the speaking of the phrase. What follows is just as important. You must now remain in complete silence for 22 minutes. This period is not a passive waiting game. It is the sealing phase. Think of it like this. You have just given yourself a deep spiritual cleaning. Your energy field is open, fresh, and vulnerable, like wet cement. If you were to immediately start talking, check your emails, or engage with the world, it would be like walking through a dust storm with wet cement on your feet. You would simply pick up new debris, negating the entire process. This 22-minute window allows your fresh, clean energy to set. It allows the new, lighter vibration you have just created to become your new normal. It is a time for integration. During this time, simply sit. You may wish to close your eyes, breathe deeply and naturally. Do not try to meditate in a formal or forced way. Simply be present with the new feeling of lightness. Notice any sensations in your body. You might feel a slight tingling, a sense of warmth, or simply a profound and quiet peace. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the feeling of the air on your skin or the sound of your own breath. This is your time to simply inhabit the space you have just cleared for yourself. You are not doing anything. You are being. You are being clean. You are being light. You are being you, without the layers of what you have released. When the 22 minutes have passed, you may gently return to your day. Move slowly. Try to preserve the quiet quality of your energy for as long as possible. You have just completed a powerful act of self-care and sovereignty. You have taken the first, most crucial step on the path back to yourself. This is the foundation of your energetic freedom, a simple yet profound practice that you can return to anytime you feel the world beginning to weigh too heavily upon you once again. The Mirror of Release, a deeper journey into your true self. You have laid the foundation. You have felt the initial powerful shift that comes from the simple act of declaring, I release what's not mine. That first level is like clearing the overgrown path to a long-lost temple, your own inner sanctuary. Now, we step through the gateway. This next stage is not about doing more, it is about going deeper. It is a richer, more immersive ritual designed for those moments when the weight feels particularly dense, when the static is loud, or when you feel ready to dissolve layers that have been settled for a very long time. This is the advanced practice, a sacred sequence that works with the elemental powers of water, earth, and the profound magic of your own reflection. It is a ritual you can perform once per lunar cycle, making it a powerful monthly reset, a personal new moon that honors your own cycles of release and rebirth. An interesting fact: did you know that the practice of scrying, or seeking spiritual visions through a reflective surface, dates back thousands of years and appears in ancient Egyptian, Greek, and Celtic traditions? They understood that a still reflective surface could act as a portal to the subconscious, a tool to see beyond the obvious physical reality. Your mirror in this ritual serves a similar, yet more personal purpose. It becomes a portal to your own soul, reflecting not visions of the future, but the undeniable truth of your present being. This advanced ritual begins not with an action, but with a patient creation. We move beyond the immediately prepared salt water into the realm of rested water. This concept is pivotal. Just as a fine soup tastes richer the next day after the flavors have melded, or a good idea needs time to incubate, the energy of the salt water becomes more potent and nuanced when it is allowed to rest and integrate. You are not just making a solution, you are cultivating a living, energetic entity. To begin, you will need a clean, preferably glass, bowl. Fill it with warm water and add a generous amount of coarse salt, stirring with your hands as you did before, charging it with your intention for deep cleansing. Now, here is the first significant addition. You will add 2 bay leaves to the water. Bay leaves are far more than a culinary herb. Since ancient times, they have been revered as a powerful spiritual guardian. The Oracle of Delphi, the most important prophetess in ancient Greece, was said to chew bay leaves or burn them to induce her prophetic trances. They were seen as a conduit to divine knowledge and a powerful protector against negative energies. In this ritual, the 2 bay leaves act as sentinels. They guard the water as it rests, ensuring that only pure, intentional energy accumulates within it. They imbue the water with a protective, clarifying vibration, transforming it from simple salt water into a dedicated tool for spiritual insight and defense. Once the salt, water, and bay leaves are combined, you will cover the bowl completely with a white cloth. White is the color of purity, clarity, and completion. It acts as a filter, allowing the water to breathe energetically while shielding it from the chaotic energies of the household, from arguments, from stressful news, from any dissonant vibrations. This covered bowl must then be placed in a quiet, undisturbed spot for 7 hours. Do not move it. Do not peek under the cloth. This period of undisturbed rest is a form of alchemy. The salt dissolves fully, the bay leaves release their subtle essence, and the water itself, through your initial intention and this sustained silence, becomes living water. It becomes a charged and potent elixir, uniquely crafted by you, for you. After the 7 hours have passed, you will carefully uncover the bowl. The ritual itself is best performed in the evening, just before sleep, allowing its cleansing power to work on you throughout the night. The sequence is a journey in 3 parts, each with its own specific focus and affirmation. Begin by taking the bowl of your rested living water to a private space. In silence, dip your fingers into the water. Just as before, make 3 slow, deliberate circles on the back of your neck. Feel the difference. This water is no longer just warm. It is charged with a deeper, more settled energy. As you make the final circle internally with all your focus, state the phrase, I release what's not mine. Feel the sentinel energy of the bay leaves aiding in this release, guarding the gateway as the heavy energy is washed away. The second part of the sequence brings the cleansing down to earth, literally. You will now soak your feet in the very same bowl of water. This is an act of profound grounding and integration. In numerous spiritual traditions, the feet are our connection to the earth, the channel through which we release excess or stagnant energy. Every nerve ending in the soles of your feet is a potential release valve. As you place your feet into the water, feel the connection. The energy you have released from your neck gateway is now being pulled down and out through your body, exiting through your feet into the water, where the salt and bay leaves neutralize it. For 3 minutes, sit in silence and soak your feet. As you do, repeat internally, like a gentle mantra, I am calm, I am at peace, I am returning to myself. This is no longer a phrase of release, but one of arrival. You are calling your own spirit back to a state of tranquility and self-ownership. Now dry your feet. The physical cleansing is complete. The third and most profound stage begins, the mirror work. For this, you will need a small, round mirror that has no cracks and ideally has not been used to witness moments of great pain or distress. A new mirror is perfect. The round shape represents wholeness and cycles, with no sharp edges to cut the energy. You are going to use this mirror not for vanity, but for vision. Sit comfortably, holding the mirror in your hands. Take a deep breath and look into it. Do not look at yourself. Look into yourself, through your own pupils. See the being behind the eyes. This can feel intense at first. We are so conditioned to judge our appearance, the lines, the flaws, the tiredness. Let all of that fall away. See the consciousness that resides within the physical form. Affirmation. My reflection is not my enemy. It is the most honest witness to my journey. Now, as you hold this deep, non-judgmental gaze, you are going to state your next command. But you will not say it with your voice. You will state it with your eyes. With all the intention you can muster, project the words, I let go, directly from your soul, out through your eyes, and into the reflection. You are communicating with your own subconscious. You are telling it, through this powerful silent language, that the release is final. The mirror acts as a feedback loop. It shows you what is ready to leave. As you hold this gaze, you may notice your features beginning to soften. The tension around your eyes may ease. The set of your jaw may relax. The face you see will begin to shed the masks of the day, the accumulated stress, the borrowed worries. You will see, perhaps for the first time in a long time, a glimpse of your own calm, essential self staring back at you. This is not about creating a new you. It is about recognizing the you that was always there beneath the residue. The ritual does not end when you put the mirror down. Before you lie down to sleep, speak one final word aloud into the quiet of your room. I am clean. Let this be the last conscious thought you offer to your mind before you enter the dream state. It is a statement of fact, a command to your entire being to integrate this new, clean state through the night's healing processes. Then, upon waking the next morning, before you speak to anyone, before you check your phone, before you let the world in, you must return to the mirror. Pick it up and look into the same eyes you saw the night before. This time, you will say one single powerful word, alive. This is your seal of rebirth. You are naming your state of being. You are declaring that you have shed the old heavy skin and have been reborn into a new day, lighter and more connected to your own life force. This complete cycle, from the evening release to the morning affirmation, creates a powerful container for your transformation, sealing the work and launching you into your day from a place of renewed vitality and sovereign power. This is the deeper magic, the art of using simple tools to perform the extraordinary act of returning home to yourself. You have journeyed through the fundamentals and ventured into the depths of a profound personal practice. You have learned the alchemical art of mixing salt and silence, have worked with the potent, receptive quality of rested water, and have confronted the unwavering truth of your own reflection. You have spoken words of power, imbued with clear intention, and sealed them not with grand gestures, but in the quiet, potent integration that follows. You have navigated this sacred sequence and felt its resonant effects. But what now? This question naturally arises as the formal structure completes itself. Does the ritual truly end when the 22 minutes are up? The final grain of sand falls in the hourglass? Or does it conclude the moment you gently place the mirror down, the word alive still hanging in the air, a declaration still echoing in the chambers of your heart? The most beautiful and, importantly, the most truthful answer is that the ritual, in its beautifully structured, time-bound form, may conclude. But the practice, the essence, the understanding, the shift in awareness has only just begun to live within you. This moment is not a terminus, a final destination where you arrive, disembark, and are declared permanently cleansed or eternally fixed. Such a notion is a mirage. Rather, consider that you have been given a new language, a sophisticated grammar of energy, intention, and self-reclamation. You have learned the alphabet of salt, the syntax of silence, the vocabulary of release. The true work, the most profound and enduring magic, now lies in how you weave this new language into the very fabric of your daily existence. The goal is to transform it from a special occasion, a secluded ceremony, into a living, breathing, and instinctual way of being. It is about moving the sacred from the altar into the alleyway, from the ritual space into the rhythm of your everyday life. An interesting fact: the neurobiology of ritual. To ground this esoteric concept in tangible reality, consider a fascinating discovery from the field of neuroscience: the brain's remarkable quality known as neuroplasticity. This is the nervous system's inherent capacity to change and adapt its structure and function throughout an individual's life, based on repeated thoughts, learned behaviors, and accumulated experiences. It is the biological basis for learning and habit formation. When you consistently and intentionally perform a ritual like the one you have undertaken, you are not merely engaging in a symbolic or spiritual act. You are, in a very literal sense, actively forging and strengthening new neural pathways. You are, through repetition and focused attention, teaching your brain, and by extension your entire nervous system, a new default setting. The old setting may have been one of accumulation, hoarding stress, absorbing ambient anxiety, and holding on to emotional residue. The new setting you are diligently constructing is one of conscious release instead of passive accumulation, of firm and healthy boundaries instead of porousness, of active conscious choice instead of passive, automatic absorption. The ritual, therefore, transcends metaphor to become a tool for tangible biological change. It is a sculptor's chisel, and with each repetition, you are actively sculpting a brain and a body that is more resilient, more calm, and more deeply rooted in its own inherent power. This scientific understanding empowers the practice, showing that you are not just imagining a shift. You are architecting one, synapse by synapse. The grand shift, from fixing to remembering. This understanding facilitates a grand and liberating shift in perspective. It is crucial to internalize that this work is not, and never was, about fixing a broken you. You were never broken. The entire endeavor is not a repair job on a defective model. It is, instead, about the ongoing, conscious, and compassionate practice of remembrance. It is about remembering, moment to moment, in the thick of life's chaos, that you are a sovereign being endowed with agency over your inner world. The external world will continue to be exactly what it is, a source of chaos, heavy energies, incessant demands, and captivating dramas. That is its immutable nature, much like the weather is inherently changeable. Your power, your unparalleled strength, lies not in the futile attempt to stop the rain or calm the hurricane, but in the masterful skill of learning to build a solid, reliable shelter, and, most importantly, in remembering to come in out of the storm. The saltwater ritual is, in its essence, that shelter. It is the conscious, deliberate act of coming inside to your own center, of drying off from the drenching downpour of external stimuli, and of warming yourself by the steady, unwavering fire of your own spirit. Each time you perform it, from the first tentative attempt to the 100th confident practice, you are not just performing steps, you are strengthening the very architecture of that inner sanctuary. You are reinforcing its walls, making it more resilient to gales, more familiar in the dark, and infinitely more accessible, even when the storm is at its most ferocious. You are building a home within yourself that you can always return to. The living practice, weaving the ritual into the mundane. Think now of the core phrase, I release what's not mine. Do not relegate it to the status of a spell to be cast only in the witching hour or in the sacred space of your morning practice. Instead, reimagine it as a silent mantra, a portable touchstone that you can carry in your pocket, your heart, and your mind throughout the entirety of your day. You can mentally whisper it like a secret of immense power after a tense meeting that has left your energy field buzzing with unresolved conflict. You can invoke it as you hang up the phone from a draining conversation with a loved one or a colleague, feeling the tendrils of their energy still clinging to you. You can declare it under your breath as you walk out of a crowded, overwhelming, and overstimulating store, shedding the collective anxiety like a physical garment. You can integrate it with the simple, daily act of washing your hands. As the water runs over your skin, imagine it carrying away not just the physical dirt and germs, but the subtle clinging residue of the last hour, the frustration, the impatience, the absorbed stress. This is how the practice truly becomes living. This is the alchemy of integration. It moves from the dedicated sacred space of your morning ritual into the unvarnished mundane reality of your commute, your workplace, your kitchen, and your relationships. It becomes an instant internal reset button, a micro-cleanse that prevents foreign and heavy energies from building up to a critical, overwhelming mass. You are no longer waiting passively until you are completely depleted, frayed, and running on empty to take corrective action. Instead, you are proactively maintaining your energy field with small, consistent, and almost effortless acts of awareness. You are becoming the vigilant gardener of your own inner landscape, weeding constantly so that the flowers may thrive. The cornerstone of a new life, energetic hygiene. This proactive maintenance leads us to the crucial and often overlooked concept of energetic hygiene. In our modern world, we possess a well-developed understanding of physical hygiene. We would not consider going days or weeks without showering, brushing our teeth, or cleaning our living spaces. We recognize the tangible consequences of such neglect. Yet we often go for months, years, or even entire lifetimes without giving a single conscious thought to the state of our energetic body. We immerse ourselves for hours in toxic digital environments and news cycles. We engage in or listen to gossip. We tolerate relationships and dynamics that consistently drain us, and we ignore the profound need for quiet solitude and introspection, all without a second thought for the cumulative, corrosive buildup this creates in our subtle anatomy. Adopting this practice means beginning to think of your energy with the same respect, diligence, and care you afford your physical body. It means evolving from a state of passive reception to one of conscious curation. It involves making active, sometimes difficult, choices about what and who you allow into your energetic field. It is the practice of pausing before a social engagement, a project, or even a conversation, and asking yourself with sincere curiosity, do I have the capacity for this? Will this interaction, this media, this environment, nourish me or deplete me? It is learning to say no, not from a place of fear, judgment, or rejection, but from a place of profound self-respect and the clear-eyed understanding that your vitality, your peace, and your energy are your most precious, non-renewable resources. Protecting them is not selfish, it is the foundation of sustainable being. The symbol of strength, your personal psychic anchor. This path of conscious reclamation and energetic self-defense inevitably brings you to a powerful and deeply personal crossroads, the choice of a symbol. The challenge to choose a personal symbol of strength is not a trivial exercise, nor is it a mere creative diversion. A symbol, when chosen with sincerity and feeling, operates as a potent psychic anchor, a visual and emotional shorthand for the entire journey you are on. It is a seed of profound meaning that, once planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness, can grow into a mighty sheltering tree of support and guidance. Your symbol must be deeply personal, something that resonates with the core of your being and the new reality you are actively building. It could be rebirth, powerfully symbolized by the mythic phoenix rising from its own ashes. This symbol serves as a perpetual testament to your innate ability to create beauty, strength, and new beginnings from periods of utter burnout, exhaustion, and dissolution. It could be freedom, visualized as a bird in effortless flight, its wings outstretched against an open sky. This represents the conscious release from the gilded cages of others' expectations, societal pressures, and most importantly, your own self-imposed limitations and stories. It could be peace, imagined as a deeply still, crystal-clear lake at the break of dawn, its surface a perfect mirror reflecting only the vast, empty sky. This symbolizes a state of unshakable inner calm that remains serene and unruffled by the changing winds of external circumstance. Your chosen symbol becomes your personal, internal compass. When the fog of life rolls in, the confusion, the doubt, the fear, and you feel spiritually or emotionally disoriented, you can call upon this symbol. You can close your eyes wherever you are and bring its image to mind with vivid clarity. But do not just see it. Feel its intrinsic quality. If your symbol is strength, feel the unshakable solidity of a great mountain within the very core of your being. If it is flow, feel the effortless, persistent, and adaptable movement of a river, navigating around obstacles without struggle. This symbolic practice is not passive daydreaming. It is an active tool that rewires your emotional and physiological responses, pulling you back from the precipice of anxiety, overwhelm, or anger, and into the empowered, centered state you have consciously chosen for yourself. It is a direct, unfiltered conversation with your subconscious mind, using the native language of images, feelings, and sensations, which it understands far more profoundly than any arrangement of logical words. The power of the collective, weaving a chain of light. And finally, we arrive at the beautiful, profound, and often overlooked power of the collective. While your journey of reclamation is deeply, intimately personal, you do not and cannot walk it in a vacuum. The call to share, to comment, to voice phrases like, "I release what's not mine," or "what is mine returns," is an invocation of this very collective power. There is a profound strength a deep comfort in the knowing that you are not alone in this universal human experience of carrying unseen weight. There is an exponential synergistic energy generated when thousands, or even just a handful, of people across the globe simultaneously set the same intention of release, cleansing, and self-reclamation. In this act, you become an integral part of an invisible, luminous network, a chain of energetic clearing. In this model, each individual who chooses to engage, to do their own work, becomes a node of clarity, a point of light in the collective fog. Each person who cleanses their own field makes it incrementally easier for the next person to find their way out of the mist. Your personal healing, therefore, is not a solitary act. It contributes directly to a collective field of lighter, clearer, and more coherent energy. By committing to your own work, by tending to your own garden, you are, in a very real and metaphysical sense, healing a tiny but vital piece of the world's soul. This is not a passive, wistful hope. It is an active, potent creation. The act of sharing your commitment, even anonymously in a digital comment section, is itself an act of courage and generosity. It gives others, who may be silently struggling, the permission to hope, to try, to believe that a lighter, more sovereign way of being is possible for them too. It transforms a private, often isolating struggle into a shared communal victory. Your simple typed declaration of, "I release what's not mine," on a screen can be the exact lifeline that someone else, somewhere, desperately needs to see at that very moment. It is a validation that they are not crazy for feeling the weight of invisible forces, and it is the spark of inspiration that might compel them to finally begin their own journey home to themselves. The magnificent beginning, a life integrated. So where does all of this leave you now? It leaves you not at an end, but at a magnificent and promising beginning. You are now armed with so much more than just a ritual. You are armed with a complete philosophy and a versatile toolkit for crafting a fundamentally different way of living. You have the basic cleanse for daily maintenance and recalibration. You have the advanced ritual for monthly, deeper resets and reconsecrations of your personal space. You have the micro practices and mental mantras for moment-to-minute energetic hygiene. You have a personal, powerful symbol for internal guidance and navigation. And you have a conscious connection to a collective intention for support, strength, and solidarity. This is not a collection of disparate techniques, but a holistic, integrated system for managing the most valuable asset you will ever possess, your own life force. The ultimate long-term goal is seamless integration, to reach a point where the artificial boundaries between the formal ritual and your daily life begin to blur, soften, and finally dissolve. It is to reach a state where choosing a moment of silence becomes as natural and necessary as drawing breath, where setting a firm, clear, energetic boundary feels as instinctive and unquestioned as stepping back from a physical ledge, where the feeling of being clean, light, sovereign, and vibrantly alive is not a rare, fleeting experience achieved only after a dedicated ritual, but the steady, humming, reliable baseline of your existence. This does not mean you will transcend the human experience. You will still have good days and profoundly challenging days. The practice is not a magical guarantee of a perpetual state of blissful euphoria, but a solemn promise of resilience. It is the embodied knowledge that no matter what the world throws at you, no matter how fierce the storm or how deep the fog, you have the power, the wisdom, and the tools to return to your center. You can wash away what is not yours, reclaim what is, and remember time and again the strong, calm, clear, and vibrant being that you truly always have been at your core. This is not a prize to be won. It is your birthright. This is not a path to follow. It is a path you consciously choose to walk every day. This is your living practice.